Hello, hello, hello. And you swear I just didn't even go to the beauty shop. This side looks good, this side don't. Okay. So I guess I get started. I'll tell you what. Mother Nature is a capital B. Anyway, we lost our peach tree. I got maybe a handful of peaches. I don't know if they're going to ripen like a tomato or not. But in its final bough in our yard, it went ahead and it knocked some of our pears off of our tree. It broke some limbs, branches, whatever you want to call it. So I had a big old bowl. I had this big old bowl full of pears. So I did some Googling while I was at the beauty shop. I knew I needed to do something with these pears. I'm not going to let them go bad. My grandfather used to call me garbage disposal, so there's a reason. So I decided I would do a Google, and I found a recipe. I found a recipe that is going to take the pears and it's going to cook the pears in the pressure cooker. Well, guess what? The pressure cooker is one of my favorite toys. So I decided I would go ahead and cook this. Now, the 8 cups of pears is supposed to yield 2 pints of what we're doing is making a pear butter. So here's the thing, you got to use 8 cups of fresh pears, and you have to peel them and you have to cut them into chunks. Y'all, Tupperware hasn't come out with a little gadget for me yet for the peeling part, and you know, anybody with arthritis, it's going to be kind of hard. I use my handy dandy, use my peeler, which I love my peeler, but to go ahead and peel a pear like this, arthritis to the max. I'm going to have to take some ibuprofen when I'm done. But, so I went ahead and I prepped these, not so that way y'all wouldn't have to be up here while I was peeling. But I also cored them, because you know what, Tupperware's got another little gadget that I play with, and it's an apple core. But I know from eating the pears that it's got that little center line seed deal. So I said, well, let me go ahead and core it. So I cored everything but one because I wanted to go ahead and show y'all how it's done. Now I'm also using one of our universal knives, because these are not soft pears. I mean they're edible pears, but I'm thinking that they're cooking pears. I don't know. I've got to compete with the birds to begin with for any of our fruit. So I've never really made anything with the pears. So anyway, I don't know if you could see it. Yeah, about right there. Yeah, you can see it. So the core has these little teeth right here, and I found it better to go opposite stem-wise, to go through and start drilling on the bottom. And you just turn it in a clockwise. Well, I turn it in a clockwise and it seems to work. But again, if you fight with arthritis, you're going to have a bit of a problem. So anyway, got a hole. Alright? And then to get it out of the center, you just go ahead and pop it with your finger and the whole core comes out. Again, not wanting to make y'all wait for me to do this with all of those pears. And because it's a recipe that I'm basically just trying out now. You know me, I wing things. I don't know if it's going to come out as good as my squash pudding. So I only did some of it so that way we can get them ready, okay? Now it does need to get quartered up, so let me move my phone. And we are gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just put them back in the bowl. So we're just gonna chop them in half and then in half, so quarter it up. We're gonna quarter them and go from there. The recipe, it's an easy recipe, y'all. It calls for 1 cup of water. I mean, your pears already are loaded with water, so, but it calls for 1 cup of water. It calls for 1.5 teaspoons of like pumpkin spice, or you can go ahead and have a combination of the cinnamon, the nutmeg, and the ginger. The recipe also had this other deal in a bag. I never heard of it before, and I know I don't have it, so I'm doing this without it. I'm not quite sure what that is. What kind of, I don't know if it's a seasoning or something, but I'm omitting it. I mean, because this is a butter, maybe, well, a butter wouldn't necessarily have to set like gel or like freezer jam or something. I don't know. So anyway, I'm just doing it without it. I can't tell you that I have 8 cups because I don't know. I think I have. I'm not measuring stuff. You know me, I wing things. Your favorite Tupperware does best when she wings things. Except when she wings her hair. That I definitely can't do. So anyway, so I figured, you know, hey, I will go ahead and show y'all what to do. The cook time really is just 20 minutes. And then, you know how the recipe calls for cooking it in a regular pressure cooker, and I'm for 20 minutes, and then let it depressurize for another 20 minutes, 30 at the most, and my Tupperware pressure cooker can do the whole dang thing in the 20 minutes. So we're definitely giving this a shot, and it's easy enough for me to go ahead and put it in an ideal little bowl, put it in the fridge. I can put it maybe in some kind of, yeah, that's the only thing I can think of would be an ideal little bowl. Alright, I think I got one more to chop. The recipe also calls for 1 cup of pitted and seeded dates. And I still have some dates sitting in the refrigerator in the module base, so that's what we're using. Alright, in comes my favorite toy, pressure cooker. Okay, keep in mind that this is not a handle, this is just another security safety device. So it only turns about 90 degrees to lock and unlock. You gotta follow the little arrows right here. If you have one, please, by all means, leave a review. How do you like it? Do you love it? What have you cooked in it? The whole 9 yards. Share your recipe. Hey, look, that filled it up, guys. Alright, so, put that out of the way. So we've got 1.5 cups of water. And of course, I'm winging the spices because I don't have a pumpkin spice, or pumpkin spice is way to the back. But we need a cup of dates. Oh snap, I'm not leaving that much in the fridge. I watch Justin Wilson too much. Alright, then I have cinnamon, and then I have nutmeg, and then we have ginger. Easy peasy. And then I'm just going to give it a stir, so that way the pears that I have the spice on is kind of down in the water. Let me do what I normally do, take a picture. Bam. Okay, so this has to go in the microwave for 20 minutes. So we are going to go ahead and lock it back up, align your arrows, give it that little 90-degree turn, set your lock, make sure your pressure relief valve is there and your imploder valve is there.